welcome back to the Goatworn Armcast, and we're back at it again with the saltiness, the bad kit, the good kit, and all that good stuff in between. So, as usual, it's myself, Goatworn Armbands. We have Guthrum of Norvik, Just Eastern Things, and the Shire Reeve. And we also have a special guest all the way from Norway, even though he himself is from Iceland, but we'll get to that later.
He's the most amazing Icelander. No.
Fucking dare you, I am the world's most mediocre Icelander. And by the way, you got my name wrong last episode.
Oh shit, it started already. So we'll yeah, it's going to be one of those episodes, I can tell. But first of all, we say goodbye to a friend. Da da da
Na, na,
da
na, na, na.
A fitting and heartfelt tribute to the dearly departed. So, this week's guest, Conrad. How you doing, man?
I'm well and good, thank you very much. How are yourself and all of you people?
I feel that we're better.
I heard the good news, and that was a joyous event. I drank a whole glass of water to celebrate.
So,
wow, a glass of water.
Yeah, out of the finest glass in my house.
Oh, dude. Was it out of your best tap?
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
Nice.
From the bathroom. Of course, it's out of the penis cup, bro.
See, the bathroom tap's the best one because it's still.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the coldest. It's gonna be coldest from the bathroom tap.
Those lead pipes for the win. So, you not 2 minutes into this, you complained about how we got your name wrong last week.
Yeah, mediocre Icelander. I am the world's most mediocre Icelander. Thank you very much.
You sound like a very unmediocre Icelander to me. You sound like an Icelander of note, in fact.
I am not Bjarni Benz. How dare you?
Care to explain to those who are unaware why you are referred to in this manner?
Oh, it's quite simple, really. I killed the world's greatest Viking.
What? Actually, are you confessing to a murder, or was this on?
Are you a cop? Are you a sheriff?
So yeah, you killed or beat the world's best Viking. Care to elaborate?
No.
This is gonna be a short podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was the Goatworn Armcast.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bring out the blunder of the week or whatever.
So is this just going to be the podcast where I ask you and try to get some info about you? Just go, nah, no comment.
Don't feel like it.
He's that mediocre.
He's that mediocre.
It's mediocre enough.
Shit. Okay.
Elaborate. I was at Trelleborg, and it was during one of the line fights. And of course, the line breaks down in Chaos Face, and I'm there running around with my spear. Beforehand, I said, I'm tired. I said this one out, but a person said, no, you gotta push yourself. Come on. His actual accent.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ish, but more Danish. And so there I'm running on the field, and there I see in the corner of two fighters I look up to, at least one of them, Søren. He's a very good Dane accent spear user. And next to him, I see the world's greatest Viking, and I run up and I go for a stab.
For everyone that doesn't know who he is, explain who the world's greatest Viking is.
Oh, he's part of the Danish group, and he made a documentary called The World's Greatest Viking. And,
that guy.
Yeah, that guy. And some people took a mick out of him for making it, but I'm there running on the field. I see him. I go for a stab, and he runs into the spear. So of course, in mid-step, so of course, it's gonna hurt a bit. So he goes, you should have been a bit more careful, yada yada. And I said, I'm sorry, I tried to pull back, but you ran into it. So there I walk to the lines of my Norwegian and say, hey Conrad, how did it go? And I say proudly, but firmly, the world's greatest Viking killed by the world's most mediocre Icelander. And right behind me, as I said that, was the world's greatest Viking.
That's fucking perfect, man.
Yeah.
So this is very much the, Hadrada taken out by some lucky git with an arrow sort of thing.
Nah, more like a spear, but yeah, same chip.
Yes, that said like and not actually. It's called simile.
Yeah, so now I'm currently working on a mockumentary called The World's Most Mediocre Icelander.
Fucking hell. So this guy presumably wasn't impressed.
He was a bit. He laughed at it, which he has a good sense of humor. Like he is a nice guy.
Oh, so he's not like a certain group we know that take it a bit too seriously and would have
no
list.
No comment.
No comment.
But no, they're a good bunch. They sort of get into it quite effectively. But
so aside from accidentally beating the world's best fighters, what is it that you reenact, or even do you reenact, or is this more of a combat focused thing?
I like the reenactment scene as well. I like the camp focusing on the living history. The fighting is just a nice bonus.
If you keep giving that such short answers, we're going to be done in 30 minutes. This is.
I know. But no, yeah, I like the living focus of it because I watched a lot of the reenactors on Iceland, and one of the main people actually made me want to get into this.
Is that like dancing on ice?
Yeah.
Yeah, just less manly. And but yeah, I always went to the Icelandic Viking Festival as a kid, and I always had an interest in the Viking aspect of Iceland. We're basically the original Australia. Just dump your trash there, and we'll maybe make a civilization out of it. We're sort of getting there at this stage. I lived there, of course I do. It's Iceland. There's a reason why I'm in Norway fighting with the best of the best of the best. Hashtag Uber Norge Uber alles.
Ubermensch.
Yeah, but yeah, I started doing this, but my favorite person to see on the Viking Festival was Alpen Depper, because I just loved how he could just manipulate the Icelandic crowd to cheer him on instead of the Icelanders.
So what? Obviously, you do a bit of Viking Age, but when I did that little commission for you,
oh yeah, where they stole Queenie.
Yeah,
I was with my 15th century group, and my friend got me this very nice unicorn that I said I was going to use as a pillow on campaign. Just walk around with her, and of course the fucking Danes see that giant ass fucking unicorn and they go, I want that shit. So almost the entire day after the fight, we were running down after Danes that stole the fucking pillow. The worst thing fucking happened is they literally stole her when I wasn't looking, and I just rested my head on her for a second. I lift my head up, and she's gone. And I look at my English friend Jamie and said, "Did you take fucking Queenie again?" He goes, "No." Who took it? I don't know. So it was more blind as a fucking bat for me because he had to reach over Jamie to get the fucking thing. And after literally just told him, "Hey Jamie, can I keep an eye on fucking Queenie so the Danes don't take her again?" He goes, "Yeah, sure, no problem."
Outstanding move.
Yeah, and, he's from the south of England, so you can't blame him.
Hey, I'm from the south of England.
Oh, you poor soul.
No, he's got a point.
You're from the south of England too.
Exactly.
Well,
Could be worse. You could be from the east of England.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't
No.
exist.
But you know what? You could be from Scotland and a midget.
Just these are things that's you.
It's okay. It's okay. It's going in the book.
Bring forth the Book of Grudges.
The best thing about being short in Scottish, the rain is going to hit you last. So
Oh, that's true. Actually, it's true.
yeah, it's always the perfect temperature down there, nice weather.
When fucking global warming kicks in, I'll watch you all drown from my fucking mountains.
What, you
He's
an
gonna be
Erebor?
like those.
Tiny, and on this picture, a tiny Eastern things running towards the mountain, going, "Legs, don't fail me now."
He's gonna be like those little mammals that survived the dinosaurs because they're nice and tiny.
Yeah, he was in a fucking hole or something. In a hole in the ground, it's just Eastern things.
In a hole with an owl.
They're writing in this book how that Shire Reeve still hasn't paid for the grudge.
Well, people pay me, not the other way around.
He has a point.
Yeah, that's the point. That's how it works.
I don't make the rules.
It's just how it works, guys. Now give me your fucking money.
Hey, you see this? It's a gun from the future.
How'd you get a gun from the future?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, that's not fair. He has a gun from the future.
God, this takes me back. Before the real golden age of memes, it was just guys standing in a circle quoting Anchorman until we just fucking
Well,
Shit.
dude, that's the Anchorman is the original fucking meme. How can you top Arnold Schwarzenegger at his best?
So you do a bit of Viking, a bit of, was it you said 15th century?
Yeah, with my group Societas Picarum.
Sure. And you say that you've always been interested in reenactment. So I'm going to clumsily segue that onto Goatworn Armband. And how did you find out about that? And what's your favorite comic?
Oh, I just stumbled on it because one of the people here in Oslo shared the meme and I said, "Hey, that's all right. Where can I find more of these? Okay, comics." And then I just click the link and there I see you and I see, oh shit, he also likes Warhammer and is a reenactor. And for me, that was just basically the final nail in the coffin saying, oh, almost all reenactors do, or you once did, Warhammer figure painting.
Can confirm.
So is this off the back of the was it the one I drew of the Space Marine or of the when I said I was moving? And it's just
when you were moving.
And it was everyone in the comments just like, yeah, painting Warhammer.
Yeah, I was one of those poor souls that call themselves a fan, but I am a top fan now, so I can't look it down because that title means something. But yeah, I also saw it, and when I saw Breezy, or the feller who was I forgot his name, the one who's very historically inaccurate, and I sent it to one of the Norwegians, say, "Is this me?" And I said, "You're dangerously close, but yes."
Oh, Barcy and Finris.
Yeah, Barcy and Finris.
I might have to call Barcy Breezy now because that just sounds
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
His name was Barcy. I've been calling him fucking Breezy since I saw him.
The A's before the R, dude.
Listen, I don't speak your silly language, so...
Barcy Breezy Britches.
Yeah.
Better than Guthrum Lissa, bro.
Good. Well, yeah, then you had the answer when I call you Goat Worm because I made a mistake and I don't do mistakes. So, yeah, because I miss.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah,
Because
you're only
you didn't insult just decent things.
Yeah, as I said, you're only one of two people who actually refers to it as Goatwalk Worm. You at least do it by accident. The other person thinks it's clever, which...
Who's that?
It's not clever. It's just
It's
It's
not.
just
Really,
auto
it's
correct.
really not.
Yeah, it's not very funny. You know, it's just auto corrected on my phone,
It's
and
not
I'm
big
too lazy
and
to
it's
change
not
it.
clever.
A bit like the gentleman that
See
calls him
me after
Goatwalk.
class.
Yeah, it falls flat after like
That 10th millionth time you say it.
people take the piss out of your group for it, and then your only response is to change one letter in the word.
Hmm.
There's
Like
many words change
come
with-
heavy or not at all.
Many words you can change with woofer to make them sound a little bit less, but we don't do it because they're shit.
Yeah, woofer.
Yeah, it'd be incredibly easy to call Woofer Guffer or something like that, but we don't.
Oh
'cause
yeah, that's good.
that would be
We're
like,
definitely never gonna call them that ever.
Yeah, guffer. I mean woofer.
Don't go calling them Guffer, all right?
I would have, in all honesty, I would just replace the U with an A, the waffa.
Have I spawned a meme now?
Maybe
I'm doing a
Go
digital
to the
wink.
comics. Yeah,
It-
go
it-
to the comics. Hurry,
it doesn't help that it already sounds like a furry fan name.
dude. Look at the people. I'm pretty sure at least 4 of the people in the
Oh
group
well,
is the
I'm
furry.
Woofer nuzzles you.
Oh, you shut your damn mouth.
Die.
You shut your fucking mouth right now.
Oh,
fucking
I have
dare
not
you.
had enough cider for this.
Oh fuck! It's raining and the laundry's out.
I have got some memes to send you, Conrad.
No fucking furry shit. No. There's a pain of this universe. I once saw a furry coming from work. It was just, it was terrible.
I promise you'll like it.
I'm
Shit.
waiting.
Can we make furry hunting legal?
Well, you have
only go
fox
hunting
hunting.
for deer or pheasants or whatever.
I mean,
Like,
you have fox hunting.
Just like yeah, but like what you do is
There are-
you know how so in World War II, right? The Russians used to send penal legions across minefields to clear them. I'm thinking the same thing. So you except you have a gun, right? And you just let them. You have them all.
And you
have them
point
all, like,
waffle towards the group.
Listen. So you have them all in front of you, and then you just let them go, and they have to run without being shot. See? It's
Man,
genius.
this episode got fucking dark real fast. I approve of that, but it got dark real fast.
I really hope that I don't have any furry fans in my.
You do.
Listen. When you lose
No,
them, I think it's more of a blessing. I think it's
To
more of a
clarify,
blessing than anything.
I don't actually think that.
For legal reasons.
I do.
For legal reasons.
For legal, that's a joke. For legal reason, that's a. Oh, great! You copyrighted now.
Oh,
You're saying
man.
it too. You're saying it too perfectly, bro.
I'm honestly, I've lost my place already.
You're welcome.
We got from your favorite comic to furry hunting in under 2 minutes, and
got problem with
I
furry
have that
hunting.
effect. I have that effect on people. You know, furries are the bane of the universe. So
I was going to say you have the Rambley Bastard effect. That everyone just rambles when they learn
Yeah.
To be fair, we all have the Rambley Bastard effect.
yeah,
Also,
This is
that
true.
sounds like a double-barreled name of two scientists.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
Reed,
this is
yo.
the Rambley Bastard effect. Oh,
yeah.
Oh man, when we're all old and shit, yeah, which
Yeah.
it's not going to be that long. That's going to be the name of our group, the Rambley Bastards.
I remember back in the other day when they said Lamellars is historically accurate, but now it is apparently like.
Well, Lamellite is historically accurate, but not for Viking. Well,
Yes, it
majority
is.
of Viking.
Yeah, they had trade routes, bro.
oh, shut up.
Oh, fuck out of here.
I thought you did history, bro, and everyone knows that.
Trans-dimensional time travel.
Mediocre, Malamala.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there are plates. We have found plates there, but it's just not the plates that people use, and they're not for our time period.
Yeah,
And they're
leather.
not going to be for the UK. Can someone just ban this cunt?
what kills me is that you're just so fucking deadpan, Conrad. Is the just leather. Talking of leather, Tom. You had a bit
what?
of a mishap during the week, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
What?
about
the
the-
mishap.
Yeah. You have to get new people now.
What do I do?
Your fucking hell, work with me, dude.
You made a post. You made a post saying,
Yes.
"Oh no, wrong leather."
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah, I've been trying to buy in some leather for copious amounts of knives, so I can finally get them sheathed. And there was this lovely. It was all labelled up correctly, veg tan, all this, and it had this absolutely gorgeous shade of brown, which I think if I was to over dye with my Phoebings would just look absolutely mwah. But I then go to test it because I can feel there's something not quite right with it. So I go run it under a tap, and the water just beads off it like off a duck's ass. There's no way I can wet fall. Not a chance.
Do you have experience of feeling a duck's ass?
Oh, piss
I
off.
have. You know, it's quite accurate.
Of course, the mediocre Icelander has
Just because I happen to be a chef.
a duck.
Listen, you have to spend your free time at the camp somehow.
Not by fucking a duck.
Hey, don't I don't judge your fucking shitty leather quality, and you should not judge me of my expertise.
Either way,
don't judge him on his casual bestiality.
Yeah. Listen, we're all on campaign. You know, they're gonna be
It's
there
not
for a
casual.
week.
He's very serious about it.
Yeah.
Have you ever
It's
used a
not
duck?
bestial. It's a bird. It's not even an animal. It's like a fish.
Stroll on.
Have
See-
you ever used a duck to open a wine bottle?
What?
I get it. Oh fuck.
I don't get it.
Alright, Tom, they have corkscrew shaped penises.
Oh yes. All right. Yeah. Clink clunk. The pennies dropped.
Spot on, friend.
Because obviously
Oh,
you're
dear.
a chef, which will explain some of the animal touching, but not all of it.
Most of them.
Most between some and many, because I got a message from Conrad. I can't. It was a little while back, and
You're not the only one I sent food pictures to. I sent it to Reeves as well. Like, said, if you get your ass to Norway, I'll make you a whale steak.
well, there was that. But it was the early part of lockdown where he said, "Oh, can you pour out some salt for me?" I'm like, haha.
Oh yeah.
Literally,
Give me like a shot glass of Coke. It was a good meme too. How fucking dare you? We had a deal.
I feel really left out now because the only thing I get from Conrad is cute dog pictures.
Oh yeah, because you like animals.
I do like animals. Animals are very nice. I do like animals. And
We
it
have
is
reached
very
a consensus. Tom likes animals.
Yeah.
Not like that.
I didn't even mean it like that. I was just
Yeah,
Oh,
like what the
God.
fuck, bro? I sent you
What the
puppy
fuck,
picture, you
man?
sick freak. They're not even legal.
Oh my god, he showed you his dog, you sick fuck.
I thought we had something, Tom.
How dare you destroy this trust between you both like this?
You're not getting any more cute animal pictures from me now. How you fucking sick freak? I'm sending him to Alex right now.
You should be in a straitjacket, you monster.
How do you know I'm not?
Yeah, I'm in a
Hannibal Lecter.
bite jacket personally.
Like the
I
dog
like being
Hannibal
restrained,
Lecter.
Daddy.
Personally, I'm in a bite jacket, but you know, you do you.
this is
no.
a podcast about reenactment.
Hello,
Listen.
we're the League and we're super friendly to each other.
Listen, this is still in the accurate area of reenactment. This is literally I talk to people on the campsites from other groups. Like we're still in the area of reenactment, just not the good part.
This is why people consider Scandinavians strange. Just saying.
What,
You're not
because they
wrong.
fuck dogs?
Among other things.
This is why the Vikings exiled all you bastards out to Iceland in the first place.
Nah, we just left there because there are people being too close-minded.
Okay, that's no, not right. Incorrect. Inaccurate.
Oh, boy. Here comes the provenance. Open wide. Here comes the provenance.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I genuinely apologise to people if they're hoping for anything sensible this episode.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen.
We're just gonna have to roll with this. The mediocre Icelander is like no other.
I'm like crack cocaine. You're gonna feel the side effect even though you don't do it.
I don't even understand what you just said.
Yeah, that's.
I understood what he was saying.
Just put
But I
subtitles.
still think he's wrong. But
10 out of 10 for bizarre analogies.
Ulfruck's Berserk is
that is the name of this episode.
So, okay. To try and make this somewhat relevant to our viewership.
Yes, back on track.
Back on track. Conrad, have you been to any events in the UK?
I have not. I want to hit up Hastings at some point because when I started,
if you do Hastings next year, I'll give you a lift or something from the.
Oh, I would love
that. What's the word, from the airport or whatever?
Yeah, I would appreciate that. If you would have extra tent space, I would appreciate that too.
I should do. Because
Awesome
I
sauce.
sleep in a 4-man tent anyway, so.
Oh hell yeah! I'll buy you some steak bakes and alcohol for that.
I'm not a big steak bake man, but I'll take you up on the alcohol.
Well, I don't care. You eating the steak bakes. But, yeah.
I'll bring a funnel.
Awesome. You can
And
choose.
we're back to the weird area.
Alex, he's going to make you into foie gras. Don't.
Foie gras a la Reeves.
Going to force feed you steak bakes. I knew something was up when he's a good chef and he's offering you steak bakes.
I can't fucking breathe.
Oh my god.
Yeah. On the topic. Yes, I want to hit up festivals in the UK at some point. I see little multi period festival you hit up, and I actually really want to go to that thing at some point.
Yeah, Detling's really good example of that. Midfest is quite good as well.
Yeah.
I'd recommend multi-period ones. My favorite absolutely is Detling though. That's a 3-day one. So you go set up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and it's awesome.
Oh, that sounds
You
lovely.
should try and get yourself to a York as well. Bit of a wank fest, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
York is good. I think from Norway it might be a bit of a pain because it's only a couple of days, but worth it.
No, Jorvik's a full week.
Oh,
thing.
you
Just
can
no
stretch it.
cunts
To
ever
be
there.
fair, yeah, you could stretch it out.
But yeah, I would love to hit up England at some point for festivals because they have the Historia Romanus festivals like at Caerphilly Castle, and there's a lot of festivals I want to hit up. Actually,
I like the way that Icelander knows more about UK festivals than I do. They're a citizen of the UK.
Well, I have nothing better to do with my life, so I just look at cool videos on YouTube and festivals. Go, that looks fun. But yeah,
I'm not sure if that's cool or sad.
a little bit of both.
So,
my mom thinks it's cool.
So, given that you don't do them over here, what is the reenactment scene like in Iceland or Norway?
Oh, in Iceland, I only know of the one festival, and that's Rimmikigur Vikinghátíðin in Hafnarfjörður. And the Rimmikigur Viking group, they're stand-up people. They're like 200, 300 folks, and they made me feel really welcome when I went to visit there. Maybe also, and it's not because I was Icelandic, because when I met up with them again, they thought I came from the fucking Faroes. The bastards. Because,
The Faroe Islands.
Yeah, the Faroe Islands. I went over there. You know, it's my first time being home after like 5 years or something. And they go, "Oh, welcome. Yeah, I heard you're from the Norwegian group." So yeah, I am. And then I spend a lot of time with the Faroe people because I actually understand what they're saying because my dialect is slowly becoming more and more Faroe. And then I go meet them again in Denmark for Moose God, which I most definitely recommend people hitting up. And I go over there with smoked whales. Like, hey guys, you want some smoked whale? And they go, oh hell yeah! Is this from the Grindertrop? And I go, the Grindertrop? And so yeah, from the Faroes, when you get all the whales into the fjord and you massacre them. And I go, no, this is from Norway. I made this in Norway.
That's almost like a burn.
Yeah, and
it's almost like a really, really good burn.
No, it's not burned. It's smoked.
Boo!
And I go, no, this is from Norway. I said, oh, I thought you were from the Faroes. I said, no, I'm from Iceland. I told you that when I visited you.
When you visited them?
Yeah, for the festival. Oh, fuck all of you. Like, this is that's not...
Sorry, that's... I just couldn't help but pick up on that. So again, that kind of wasn't what I asked because I was asking about what the reenactment scene was like in Wales.
Yeah, sorry, I tend to ramble. I'm a rambling man.
I really hadn't noticed, Conrad.
Oh, thank you for being so modest. But fuck you.
We haven't gone onto any tangents this episode. Straight on the money.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, the Icelandic Festival in Hafnarfjörður has always been a very nice one. They tend to be somewhat historical. They have the showing of the weapons of what we use for the clothing and lifestyles. If you'll come here to Norway, where I happen to live in, because I'm Icelandic, but I live in Norway. Surprise. The festival is quite nice. You can go to the Oslo Medieval Festival, which is actually in one of the fortresses here in Oslo, which is a 3-day festival. And you have the freelancers who demonstrates cannons and hand cannons as well.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah, and then you have Borre, which is a very nice area. I think Reeves is going to try to visit that next year.
Yes, I would like to come to that next year.
Yeah, because you have a lot of findings from that area they fucking train in,
and they even got
and an art style. They even got their own little longhouse and a fortress up there as well that they're working on.
I saw the longhouse. It's one of the better ones I've seen. To be fair, from pictures anyway.
Yeah, it's very cozy up there. They also use it for the Midgardsblot, which is a Viking heavy metal festival that I was hoping to see.
Oh, is that the one?
The Midgardsblot.
Is that the one that like what the Grimfrost go to?
I have no idea. All the thing I know is Grimfrost bad. That's the extent of Grimfrost I know of.
That's all you really need to know, isn't it?
There goes my sponsorship.
You don't want to be sponsored by those wankers anyways.
Yeah, I thought you're selling out already, huh?
Well, yeah, you heard it here first. Goatworn too good for Grimfrost.
If you want not a sellout, come to me. I don't do anything, but I would like your money.
If you want not a sellout,
don't come to me. I'll sell out in a fucking second. I'm a chef, for crying out loud. We're cheap.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good question. While we're on the subject of Grimfrost, if you could copyright a word unnecessarily, what would it be?
Grim.
That's a good question.
What whilst claiming to?
I've got it.
Go on.
Reeve.
just steal it all to yourself.
I'm the only person allowed legally to do a Shire Reeve impression.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna fucking copyright that word right fucking now, mister. I'm gonna get some royalties from you.
Oh dear.
What would your word be?
Ooh, if I could arbitrarily copyright a, even though that's not technically how it works. I honestly don't know. I'd probably do something funny, like wanker or twant. Just for the lol, just for the sheer fucking pleasure of it.
I
But
think
is
like,
twant technically a word, or is it just
It
a
is now.
portmanteau?
Oh, you can still copyright a portmanteau.
I'd probably copyright Warbands.
Fucking Grimfrost. I would just copyright that just to fuck with people.
Sounds
Or
like-
fuck with a specific group of people.
Oh, dear.
Well, that is, if I wasn't getting sponsorship before, that has definitely put the nail in that coffin.
You're welcome.
Like you wanted a sponsorship from Grimfrost anyway.
Yeah, we all saw your comic about him.
Oh yeah, shit, I did that as well, didn't I?
Yeah, don't you fucking blame me for this.
Right, yeah. So, reenactments in Norway. What's the fight system like? Is it kind of like our
T-shirt,
Western?
yeah, t-shirts and shorts. You know, you have your just as long as you're under your under your elbow or under your knee. It's not really it's not a hit
Yeah.
zone. Yeah, we have shoulders though.
You have shoulders. What about
Yeah, we have shoulders.
what about headshots?
Oh, you hit that thing. You do 10 push-ups. If they start bleeding, you're buying them a beer.
Fair enough.
If it's a deep one, you need stitches. You're paying them a beer per every single stitch they get.
Hmm. That's
I like
actually
the system.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask me
Well,
about
but
teeth
that-
though.
Take note, warbands.
Nah, that man's gonna be broke. Like,
Warbands. You wouldn't want to get a headshot of them anyway. The helmets will crumble.
Yeah.
You know? When your best friend Akrish is supplying all your kit made from finest quality shit.
Yes, I do you a good deal.
Nah, all jokes aside, there's no harm in getting some stuff over there. There's some decent traders.
yeah.
But I've got a picture I can dig out of a 3
But
mil
there's
thick
good
Eastern
and
helmet
bad,
got caved in.
Mhm.
And it was caved in, not even hard. It was because it was crap quality.
Yeah, soft steel.
I'll tell you one that's quite funny considering how authentic and attention to detail he pays kit now
Oh,
is
wow.
Barcy's first helmet that he brought to training.
Oh,
Genuinely,
no.
you could twist the nasal part in your hand. It was that
Oh,
thin.
God.
What? Oh,
Kit Kat
I
wrapper.
think I may have actually had a very similar one that I admittedly it was before I did reenactment, and I never intended it for reenactment once I started. It was an epic armory one, I think. And you know
Ooh,
what?
bad.
Hang on. So as a nasal, it actually looked fine, but you could bend the nasal completely. Which was concerning. It was 18 gauge, but I mean, like I say, I never planned to use it once I got into reenactment. Anyway, it was for something I did before that.
Like LARPing or something.
No, it's a complicated thing to get into, because you have to understand the culture of East Sussex bonfire societies. So I
Right,
won't get
that's
into
fair
that.
enough. That's fair enough. I think the only thing is when I started out doing this, I went to a store that I now know is a bad store for any noob that are going to listen to this. Listen to your group leaders or your trainers.
Listen
I
to
bought this
anyone
stuff-
that knows what they're talking about in the
yeah.
group, or that your group leader. Like, it doesn't have to be your group leader. Your group
yeah,
leader
anyone that knows
can-
their shit.
Yeah,
just
I
listen
mean,
to 'em.
also, I don't think you have to know your shit even to be a leader. The group leader, as long as they know who to delegate to, can do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
so I bought this sword from this very militarized store that sells, reenactment stuff, quote unquote, and like modern military clothing, like nice boots and shit. I bought a nice Viking sword for them. The scabbard was alright, but when I used the sword, one of the people said, "Yeah, let me see that sword for a second." I said, "Yeah, fine." And then she pulls out her knife and she whacks the sword after she asked me for consent. I said, "Yeah, sure, just hit it." And there came this giant fucking bend into it as soon as you hit it with the edge, like
yeah,
the perfect C shape.
if there's
of
a
a
bit
bend.
of kit they're unsure of in Regia, they'll do that as well. My a fighting knife that I use, they did that too, and it's always a bit of a brown trousers moment, especially with the more mass-produced stuff. Although I tend not to buy that these days.
I've had a habit of being an impulse buyer, so I buy shit before I
I
even
try
figure
to
out.
avoid
Hey,
it if I can.
yeah. But the good thing about me buying so much useless shit that I can't use is I've gotten really good at telling what is shit, so I can just tell new beginners, hey, don't fucking get that shit.
That's the thing to do, definitely.
What's your favorite reenactment moment?
That's simple, really, isn't it? It's when I
Killed the world's greatest Viking.
When
yeah,
you
I was
jab.
gonna say it. I was gonna say it, but no, I think it has to be my first headshot that I actually caught during a show fight is when I ate an axe. And I've never been more thankful that I had a fucking mouth guard out. I would have lost my 2 front teeth.
Jeez. So what? Does someone like aim straight at your face?
Oh, that's the thing. I just finished a show kill, so it's fucking blistering heat and also at the time, in like 2018, I think, and it was just fucking miserable. It was like almost 40 degrees the entire fucking weekend. And you're standing there in full chainmail, and you have your helmet with the padding there. And I finished a difficult show kill because it was a nice fight. And I'm just taking a quick breather as I'm slowly trying to hoist myself up. I hear, "Are you a Kingsman?" And I look up, and he sees my face, and he goes to punch me in the shoulder, but catches me straight in my lip.
Oh, man.
Oh fuck.
I
Damn.
think when it gets hot, a lot of things.
Yeah, it's when you
Change.
overheat it where the
Yeah.
accidents tend to happen.
And
I mean,
it's not even the heat itself. It's how
it's
it
the heat stroke
Yeah.
and
ignition.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
everyone makes
it affects
mistakes
your
in it.
balance. It affects your judgment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But lucky for me, that axe was blunt. Wink, wink.
I mean, I may have told this story before, but last year at Detling, one of the older guys in Regia was sitting by the hay bales in the arena just at the end of the training, and I said to him, "Do you want a cup of water?" Because he was clearly very dehydrated, and he said no. So I looked at my mate Toby. Well, everyone knows Toby because we had him on the other week.
Toby.
And gestured,
fella.
yeah. No, well, I just gestured to him. Shall I go and get him some water? And he went, "Yeah, definitely." So I went and got him some water, brought it back, and he was really thankful. But it just shows what heat can do to you. Like, you know, it can really mess with you.
Yeah. For me personally, I think the real MVPs in reenactment are the water bearers when you're on doing show
for
fight.
sure.
Absolutely.
Because if there's anything worse than having to stand in the fucking heat, is when you die and you have to lay there in the fucking blistering sun. And I'm just so thankful because some people either have to point over, say, "Hey, can you get the person some water?" Or they just know an instinct, "Hey, buddy, you want some water?" And they, I just pour it over me, and they do.
It's the ones that go around with jelly beans and jelly babies as well to give you that sugar boost as a bonus. That unsung heroes. Of
You
Rio.
guys get jelly beans?
Yeah, we get jelly babies.
The fuck's a jelly baby?
It's a baby made of jelly.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's a powdery. It's a powdered jelly gummy thing in the shape of a little baby. I've always thought they're fucking disgusting.
Can you just get a Haribo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do
Yeah, we
Haribo.
get them too.
Oh, that's fair enough. Man, that's
But,
actually quite nice.
Yeah, jelly baby is kind of a more traditional British sweetie.
Yeah. We've always been told drink,
Sugar boost, isn't
drink,
it?
keep drinking, and when you think you've drunk enough, drink some more.
Yeah.
And if you're not feeling like you need a piss before you go on the battle,
A
you haven't
really
taken
good one. A
re-
really
yeah.
good one is grapes and strawberries. Because they're you bite into it and they're so hydratory. They really help. Taking a bunch of grapes with you, when you go walking around is really useful as well.
Yeah,
That's all well and good for you guys. I can't eat fruit.
Why?
Yeah.
It irritates the shit out of my so I physically cannot eat fruit.
Oh shit! Fair
Oh,
enough.
I
yeah,
can
you're one
eat
of
fruit;
those.
it won't kill me, but it's incredibly.
Yeah, I know. My pop says the same thing.
Ah.
Yeah. So that's a bonus thing of being a chef, because I tend to make things that people, reenactors on camp, can actually try to eat as well.
Mm.
Yeah, you can work around dietary requirements and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it is amazing how many dietary requirements there are to work around.
Yeah, because you have gluten-free people, you have people that are pescatarians, which they only want fish. So,
I
What's
find stews are quite a good one for that.
Oh, dude, there's always nice stew. A nice stew on reenactment, I think that's the best thing you can actually get.
But I quite like. Well, we often do like cold lunches, so you have like a meat, cheese, bread, a biscuit platter.
Our group does the exact same. They just have like you say.
Oh, and
biscuits
boiled
and-
eggs.
Yes,
Boil the
eggs.
eggs in the morning.
Oh, boiled
and we
eggs.
have
is the
them.
thing.
They're so good at arena. I wouldn't necessarily like eat them normally, like loads, but if you have a boiled egg at the reenactment, hard boiled egg, you just pick one out the the bowl, take it with you, and peel it as you walk.
Yeah, it's fucking
nice.
amazing.
Our group does honey butter. And that is
Yes. Oh, honey butter on the hobnob biscuits, the plain ones. They're actually pretty authentic. Those ones. They're close to an original recipe. That is fantastic.
It's you can tell like when it's being prepared in our camp, because you'll get to lunchtime and you walk past our camp and you just hear oh that's a good one, and just kind of vaguely sexual noises as everyone tucks in honey butter.
I was that. I was the same way, but I was the one that got my first cup of coffee for that entire week.
Oh yeah,
and that was, and I still defend that was the best cup of coffee I ever had in my entire life. Was at Moose God in 40 degrees heat with no trees or shade, and I just wake up early, get myself ass down there, and said, "Is there coffee around somewhere?" Yeah, go here. They say this kid's name, and I go, "Can I get some coffee?" He said, "Yeah, give me a cup," and I handed my cup, and it was just the best fucking thing I ever drank. It's like fucking heaven, you're fucking tired, you haven't had a nice sleep for a while, because everyone was drinking and partying, and you're a light sleeper, so that coffee just fucking saved my day.
As an aside, for editing, because I feel like we should have had a warning at the beginning. I didn't realize how many F-bombs Conrad would drop in like at each sentence. So I don't know.
Well, I'll add something. It's fine.
So should we add?
To be fair, we're
sorry.
not exactly
PC. No,
I mean I've dropped a C bomb already.
no. What I was thinking.
Terribly sorry. I didn't know there was a limit of cursing.
No, it's cool. It's just I realized that you dropped like 3 in a very short sentence. I thought
you can only say fuck one time, okay, and then you're out.
That's
okay.
it. Yeah. Do we want to do like a thing in the beginning, or do we want to edit? So
Do it right at the end. I think you should do it right at the end. Right at the end.
We'll just pop in something in the description and on when you post it on your page.
Just
say this is it. This is a pretty profane one.
Edit like a goose honking or something every time he says
You don't pay me enough for that.
Okay, you know what, Reeves? When I come to Hastings next year, I'll buy you a Froggo.
You mean a Freddo?
Yeah, Freddo.
Oh, I thought you meant an actual frog.
You're not worth the real frog, Yeah, I see you as a friend, but you're not a frog friend. I'm sorry. Like
he keeps doing it. Like in conversations, you'll just go, "Oh, if you do this, I'll buy you a Freddo," like some kind of pedophile. It's really bizarre.
I think it's bribery.
It is bribery.
Don't leave me.
Legal.
Freddos aren't a very common form of currency here.
But
it is now.
It was bizarre. I said, "Well, how are you gonna like post it to me from fucking Norway?" And he goes, "Oh, leave it to me." And he sent like He sent £1.50 to my PayPal.
No,
account.
that's the break. That's
Dude,
the thing.
Yeah, there you go. Don't spend it all at once.
That's incredible. Oh my
No,
god.
that wasn't for the fucking Bretto. That was for the fucking spear, you ding dong.
Yeah, ding dong. I like that.
Sending me
Comedy.
money to PayPal is just the weirdest, most bizarre thing. Anyway,
You're welcome, by the way. I hope you fucking bought a Freddo.
Yeah, you haven't even said thank you. How dare
Yeah,
you?
you cunt. Like,
God, shit. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So, Conrad, obviously, we have a little segment each week, Farber week. So, if you'd like to join us for this week's,
For a
can we
sacred
get
ritual?
a sacred ritual? Tell you what,
oh boy.
Asa True groups in like 50 years' time will be doing this as like a
Oh,
yeah. historically accurate ritual.
Your bastard children are gonna continue this legacy on.
Oh,
Well,
God.
you assume they're bastards.
Bold of you
I
to
mean,
assume I'll get close enough to a woman to have children.
I mean,
Listen,
you
Tom,
did
when
say
you're
you
self-aware
fancied
about
puppies.
your virginity, it's not funny.
Mm.
Don't worry, bro. You have very authentic stuff, though. You don't really need a girl.
Yeah, who needs women when you have authentic?
Exactly.
Who needs women
It's
when you
going
have
so-
a belt sander?
Exactly. It's going well for Reeves here, so
Nerds.
What? What's going well for me?
don't worry about it. Go to the blunder.
What? Is that like the Norwegian version of
Go
Go to the Chopper?
go to the blunder. Go to the blunder. Don't think about it.
Are you okay?
No,
I
I'm
think
having a
he's
stroke.
having
Are you having a
Um,
Norwegian stroke?
I'm Icelandic, thank you very much. I'm having an Icelandic stroke.
Fuck.
Anyway, Farber of the week.
Uh,
Here it is. Woo.
oh man, that's a beaut.
That
Yeah.
is
He has eyes.
He has real
no.
big bad reenactor energy.
At least
I'm gonna start off the shoes. Now, don't get me wrong. We may have a find that hasn't surfaced yet of modern, what appear to be trainers from the Viking Age. However, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't actually think those are trainers.
don't worry about it. It's Adidas.
There's
It's
some
Adidas
form
Lab.
of-
Zoom
there's
in.
some.
They've
No,
got
because
toggles.
they're blackened leather.
Wait, what?
Boots. Yeah.
What?
Oh,
They are-
okay, yeah.
They've
They,
got
they appear
toggles.
to have. They appear to have rubber soles and be made of suede, though.
Yeah.
That's
So,
Pulp
for all
Fiction.
intents and purposes, they're modern shoes. You might as well be wearing trainers.
Also, obviously, the splintered leg guards. One is weirdly higher up than the other.
He has a very long knee.
I'm
Long
struggling to work out
silver.
why that would be a thing. Like, why has he done that?
I think he's
It
just
looks-
wearing them wrong, to be honest with you.
No, he's not. His tunic is long. It's pink tunic, isn't it? But it looks at least
But
that's what I'm looking
If
at.
you look at our left,
What I mean
his
is
right,
the bottom of each of them. One is higher than the other.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say his facial expressions are point on. He looks very human.
We haven't
Yes.
really helped that.
because I always censor out the faces because we're not trying to take the piss out of the individual. We're trying to take
Yeah,
the piss
just a
out,
kid. Yeah.
piss out of their kit. Because
And actually be kind of
it's not
somewhat productive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a long tunic, but if it's the bottom one, this is the under tunic. So I can't see the rest of it, so I don't know. But the
Yeah.
Is
bottom
he
looks
wearing a
okay.
gambit?
If it was, no, it's a strange. It seems a thick bottom split tunic, or some
looks
kind
nice.
of, or one of the Eastern caftans. You know the.
Yeah.
Like the color,
fatter
the
ones.
color on his under tunicky thing is quite nice. I'll give him.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
a
it's a
good,
very nice
that's a
color.
good salmon orange. That's nice.
That's a very modern belt he has on, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
square. That looks fairly modern.
That looks like a modern one.
You do
Um,
get rectangular buckles like
They
that.
look nothing like
but
that.
yeah, that's very
Yeah.
lightly built. It's a modern
His
belt.
sword also is.
Yeah,
in
it looks
a-
very LARPy.
His sword is in a sword ring. You know, the metal ones.
Oh no,
Oh.
it's not, is it?
You can't see it in the
No.
picture, but I know it is because I've seen other pictures of it. And
Oh,
yeah, it
God.
is a bare blade in the sword ring. You can see a little bit of the glint of it if you zoom in.
Yeah, you can
That's
see a bit of the ring.
terrible.
Yeah.
That's inexcusable.
It's also a very, very long grip on the sword. It's like two-handed.
Mm.
Mr. Arband, do you want to put your input on this?
Yeah, the axe ring for a sword. That was a big no-no in Norse culture. Was the idea of having a free
Bare
blade?
Yeah.
You know, is considered to be tricksy. And it was just you just wouldn't go without one when you've paid so much money for a sword.
Comparatively, the cost of the scabbard is nothing.
Yeah,
Modern labour is why scabbards now can cost as much as swords if they're good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
But
If you
whereas
make
at the time, it was materials that cost.
Hmm. I mean, it's just goat leather, a bit of wood as the core,
Goat leather
It-
armband.
goat leather walnut. Yeah, that
Yeah.
lamella. And I know Just Eastern will be tired of seeing this style of
Deep
lamella.
plate, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's your favourite. It's your favourite Just Eastern things.
Yeah.
I've had a set of deep plate lamella. It looks fucking boss when it's done nice, but it's not right.
I think most
Yeah.
things in reenactment
Price
look
of-
boss when
price
done
of-
right.
Yeah, no, I agree.
My new impression.
The price of going and buying lamella, go and buy a
Yeah.
set of chainmail. It works out. You'd save a couple of quid, and you look fucking better. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Chainmail looks better than lamella.
Oh yeah, definitely. Chainmail party all day.
Don't get me wrong, when it goes to later on, then it can look right. But he's paid out the ass for that. He looks like a fucking thumb from Spy Kids.
I've seen much more like that. Doesn't look like the cheapest set on the market.
Hmm.
You know.
I'm just wondering about the helmet out of all things. That looks very
that looks like one of
non-Saxon.
the Roos style ones, but
Yeah.
it's like a bad version.
Yeah, it is the better part of this kit is the
Yeah.
helmet.
Yeah.
Because
But
No,
I
still
was
not
actually gonna
Viking.
point. I was
Yeah,
gonna point out
Yeah.
the spear shaft because the spear shaft looks very nicely made,
It's-
instead of just being a round shaft.
It looks like a Barry shaft. The helmet is a rip off of the gazebo Russian helmet. Probably.
Yeah, there are a number of Polish helmet finds like that. I think they're generally called.
But this particular helmet is actually purchased off Wolfhound. I recognize.
Ah, right, fair enough.
I'd recognize the two to the bronze
Yeah.
patch on the foreheads.
Well, the style in general, there's a number of finds. I think they're technically they call them Great Polish helmets or Great Polish helmets.
Yeah.
And they do look boss, but
They are
this
very
one
nice.
isn't so nice as a replica
Yeah.
of one.
Yeah,
I've always called them chimney pot helmets.
yeah.
Mm,
I don't know where I picked that up from.
What's kind of ironic is that you often see them in combination with lamella because it's an Eastern helmet and it's usually worn with Rus kit, and thus Rus lamella kind of goes hand in hand for a lot of people. But the grave that's found in, or that style of helmet is found in, the Black Grave and Nezdovo, have chainmail. They
Really?
don't. Yeah, they don't have lamella.
That's hella interesting.
What did you say? What was that?
Even in the East, these Rus impressions where you got distinctly Rus style kit,
Were so
They're-
rich they could afford mail, basically.
they were so rich they could afford. Yeah, the mail was the more prevalent armor, even where a lamella was more prevalent.
So I think I have even heard somewhere. I think it was from one of my mates saying in the Byzantine of Varangian Guard, the Vikings that went there were commended on having the better armor, which was mail compared to what they had there at the time.
Was it Constantine that said that?
Yeah, I've been trying to dig out that source, fun enough, for Reeve, because it's something that really stuck out to me as, you know, the emperor himself, who's hired these warriors to form his personal bodyguard,
will be very aware of the armor his guys are using.
Yeah. So it's almost weird that these these foreign mercenaries would then wear local kits. Not saying that it'd be impossible, but
I think it supports the argument. I think
Sorry,
it supports the argument that they'd be wearing the soft kit of the Byzantine people, because of the silks and the lighter clothing for the hot climate.
Yeah.
But then the armor of their homeland and the weapon. Maybe not the weapons, depending, but I still think it's likely.
Well, we know that they brought over the Daneax because that's part of what they were referred to. They're the axe fighters, the axemen. They were famous for several things: their loyalty, the ferocity with which they set into their opponents with those axes, and for drinking copious amounts of wine. They're called the Emperor's wineskins. And that's not bullshit, by the way. That's genuine. Which
please send me a link to that. Please send me a link to that. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so coming back to this, it's an attempt at Eastern style Rus Viking, but it's just badly done, like a lot of these things, where they've typed in Eastern style kit and gone for the first thing that comes up. Whereas if you actually look at the graves that are found in East, and like anyone wanting to look at more Eastern style Viking Rus, look at the Nezdovo and the Black
Novgorod's another one as well.
Novgorod is also a really good one as well.
Here.
I think my favorite find from Novgorod is actually the grinning beast, that little pendant.
My favorite is actually the wax tablet, which has a really detailed wooden surface.
I really like the little padlocks they find in Novgorod. The little
there are some nice anvils too. The L-shaped anvils.
Oh yes,
because I know that's the one that Daygrab makes. Is the Novgorod anvil.
Very nice. But I still really, I'll have to pull up a picture so you can splice one in. But these little padlocks, they are just gorgeous. Like the tail of the beast. It's. Are you familiar with the backwards facing beast brooches?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'll show you one of them.
Is this the same as the stunned newt?
What?
Oh, don't worry. It's one of the undefined beasts that I think is meant to be a dragon, and it looks like a newt.
Yeah, kind of. So basically, it's kind of a horse. These padlocks, right? And the tail comes up, curves around, and forms the actual retaining bar of the padlock.
Oh, nice.
And it links into the back of the head, horse. And you shove the key in the horse's
so a bit like an Ouroboros.
No, the horse
but
is
going in the back.
The horse isn't looking backwards. I was just trying to find something that you might be familiar with to give you the sort of idea. The horse is looking, it connects to the back of its head. Like I say, I'll pull up a picture and I'll get you to splice it in.
Of course, I'll pop it on the image.
And
the video, sorry.
I was trying to buy one, and I said, "Can you hold one for us?" Because they had like a few dozen. I said, yeah, we'll hold one for you. Because I got paid the next day, and I come back and they say, "I'm really sorry, we sold yours." I'm like, "You fuckers." Because
language.
Oh, fuck off.
What do we reckon to this guy's kaftan? Because that looks really synthetic to me.
Yeah, to me as well. I don't get me wrong, vibrant colours like that. I mean, we've talked about black enough times before.
Modern thing you'd wear with fencing kit.
Yeah, it looks just wrong, and the trim is really blobby.
We are talking about the red and black thing.
Yes.
Yeah. At first,
I don't know if it's a kaftan or a split tunic.
I thought it was a fencing coat. Like for HEMA.
Yeah.
No, they're not really built like that. The HEMA ones, but it's either way, it's wrong.
It's not. Yeah. It's
not. The split tunics, like if it was a properly done split Norman tunic, I could see it for Norman. But yeah.
I think it's the biggest crime. There's just
No,
the biggest
no,
crime
no.
about this is he's supposed to be a Saxon, isn't he?
I don't know what he's supposed to be honest with you.
Just
bollocks.
that's the real shame
Generic
of it,
Viking. Generic Viking.
yeah, generic Viking. You look, it's Schrodinger's Viking. You look like everywhere yet none of it.
At least Horrible Histories actually got the authentic Viking kit better than him.
Yeah, that says something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, shall we rate
Viking
this?
eye for the Saxon guy.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I love-
Horrible History.
To be fair, the books were better than the series anyway.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, someone that shares my view. I genuinely, I'm not a fan of the series that much. There's some clips that are okay, but they're
Maybe we should review it next week or something.
no, I'm good.
We've already got plans for next week.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You're telling me what the plan is on my show, are you?
all right. Oh, but
The
You're
mutiny has
actually-
begun. The mutiny
Well,
has
actually,
begun.
Just because you need me to edit your show.
Yeah.
dog,
Right,
not
okay.
horse. Sorry, it was a dog. But you'll see, it's fairly like generic beastie shape.
Right, okay. So, scoring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guthrum, you're up first.
Ooh. I shall give it 2 splints out of 6. Because
Damn it! I was going to use splints as my arbitrary measuring unit.
Just Eastern. Just Eastern.
Oh, 1 Tostido out of like a billion because he's just so shit.
I love the brutality. Sharif.
Oh man. 1 out of a full set of D plate lames.
One scrap of okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, one lame out of a full
Yeah.
full lamella.
That's pretty lame.
You're very
Hey!
funny, Conrad. You're very
Thank you.
funny. You
Thank
should
you
be a
very much.
comedian, not a chef.
Nah, I don't have the material.
Go on,
Well, buy
Conrad.
some.
What
I'm gonna give it a Billy because that's pretty maze.
A what?
I'm gonna give it a Billy because that kid is pretty amaze.
Is that a joke I'm supposed to understand?
Billy Mays here.
Who's that?
Of course you wouldn't fucking know him, you ingrate.
Does anyone else understand what he's on about?
No,
I don't speak.
How have you not heard about Billy Mays?
Billy No.
Who the fuck is Billy Mays?
Have you not heard about
You on
Billy
about
Mays?
Shut one minute. Are you on about Billy Mays, the telesales?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What?
He's dead.
That's obscure.
unlike Woofer, he's dead. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was bad with my I really dated myself with the keg
Party 7.
Yeah, the Party 7 and the
Oh my god. that
Well,
was
to be
fucking
fair,
hilarious.
I made the same Watney's Red Barrel reference, to be fair.
Oh, and you give me shit for this one.
But
Yeah,
I know
we are.
Watney's Red Barrel from my dad, not because I'm old.
yeah. Jeez, that's okay. So we can't.
Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you.
Right,
have you-
what was your scoring, sorry?
It's Billy because it's pretty amazing.
No, one we understand. Come on.
Oh. It's pretty at best.
No,
I'm gonna
You
give
need
it.
to, like,
It's a 10 out of 10 for me,
quantify
guys.
it. Oh, fuck's sake.
It's a 10 out of 10 for
Please.
me.
Please, just quantify it.
I'm going to give it 12 chefs because too many chefs spoil the
Oh! Oh, we're so funny.
comedy.
It actually got me though.
And thank you
Well-
for listening to Ulfruck's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us on this one, guys. This has been another podcast. This might have been the most chaotic yet, and I blame it entirely on our guest Conrad, all the way from Norway.
Conrad.
Well, you living in Norway, and I was going to say that. Oh fuck! You got me,
Got ya.
bitch.
Personally, I play Reeves. Personally,
What did I do?
you know what you did.
Yeah, I took your taxes, but that was earlier, okay?
Yeah, I don't care. It's still your problem.
Damn it.
So your homework, Conrad, when you get back in the kitchen, if you can open a wine bottle with a duck.
On it.
Awesome. So with that image lingering lingering
Lingerie.
Scrap that. Rewind. With that image
Roll.
lingering directly in our frontal lobes, we will say goodbye for this week. And it has been a pleasure interviewing you, Conrad. And
You're lying, but okay.
Yeah.
oh, I will say I've enjoyed it, but I don't think I'll be interviewing you again.
not on here, anyway.
Like, thanks for coming, but fuck off. So it's a goodbye for me, Goatworn Armcast, from Guthrum of Norwich, from Just Eastern Things, Shire Eve, and this week's guest, Conrad. So join us next week. We'll be talking about good kit. We're going to have a look at some of the better points of reenactment. In the meantime, check out all our pages. Goatworn Armband, of course, Guthrum of Norwich, Just Eastern Things, and Anglo-Saxon Brub hosting. And
It's just not what it's called.
what's it called?
Burr
posting.
Bar posting.
Fucking
What did I
trust me,
say?
said wrong.
Bruh posting.
Bra posting.
Bruh.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well, I'll continue having this stroke after the episode. Cheers, guys.
welcome.
Thank you for tuning in.
See you later, guys.
Cheerio.
Bruh.
Fjandinn.
Don't leave me.